Hi there, it's Jen, and thanks for joining me today. Today I am doing 10 cards using the June 2019 Spellbinders card kit. If you are interested in seeing all the contents of the kit, I will go ahead and link a video that Spellbinders has put out that shows exactly what comes in the kit. For this first card, I am taking this really pretty piece of gold foil paper along with the pattern paper. The 6x6 pad comes with, I believe, 3 of each design, so you can make a crazy amount of cards just with the paper. And the ephemera always comes with 2 of each piece of ephemera, so a ton of stuff in the kit. So for this first card, I went ahead and I just cut a piece of the gold foil paper, and I'm using the double-sided tape to go ahead and adhere that to my card base. And the kit comes with 10 cards and 10 envelopes, and the card bases are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So after this, I take the piece of pattern paper and I mat it on a piece of the black paper that is also in the kit, just to give it a little more support. The 6x6 paper pad, the paper is fairly thin, so I wanted to pop this up, and I didn't want it to kind of, have a ripple, which sometimes happens when the paper's too thin and you try and pop it up with foam tape. So I went ahead and matted it on the black, and I just left a tiny little piece on the edge showing of the black paper. So with the leftover piece that I had from the 6x6 pattern paper, I went ahead and cut around a small part of the flowers. And then I'm just going to take my tape runner and add some adhesive to the bottom portion of that, and then a piece of the little foam square to pop up that flower so it kind of is raised a little bit from the card. For the sentiment for this card, I used one of the stickers from the sticker sheet. It's kind of like an ombre sticker sheet of sentiments. It's lighter at the top and darker at the bottom. So I chose one of the lighter sentiments. It just says happy birthday. And I'm going to go ahead and mat that on a piece of the black cardstock. And here I'm just trying to figure out placement. I like how it looks on top of the card, on top of the floral, but I ultimately decided to go ahead and trim it down and place it on the side of the card, kind of pushed under the popped up area a little bit. And that'll finish off the first card. I really love this paper that was in this paper pack, especially this floral piece. I think it's really kind of soft and muted. It's just beautiful. And my phone keeps going off. I apologize. For this next card, I am going to mat my pattern paper on this really pretty piece of blue paper. And I'm going to use these butterflies, which when you pop out the little cutouts in the wings, they look like little hearts. So I try to incorporate them in this card. I ended up just putting them on the inside of the card because I thought it was too much on the outside. But I'm just matting the blue paper to my card base. And then I'm also using, this kit comes with 2, I believe it's 8x8 pieces of vellum paper. So this one has words on it, the other one has little bows, and I do use that later in the video on another card. So I'm just trying to figure out placement here. But the good thing about vellum like this that's got print on it, and then vellum that, I mean, I was really careful on this first card because I was worried about the double-sided tape showing through, and so I was really careful about where I placed everything, and then kind of worrying about, but I didn't actually need to do that because it hides pretty well just because there's a piece of pattern paper behind it, and because the vellum piece itself has a lot of writing on it. So I didn't need to worry as much as I did. And so when I do the second card using the vellum, you'll see I just put strips of vellum, and it's not noticeable. So that's the good thing. That's one of the things I always worry about with vellum is, trying to hide where that tape is. so that you can't see it. So I went ahead and I popped up the 2 butterflies using some of the foam tape that's included, or foam squares that's included in the kit. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put that over my blue mat. And then I take the little hearts, a few of the little hearts, and adhere those on the inside of the card. And again, these are just the little punch outs from the butterfly wings. And that'll complete that first card. So for the next card, I am using the dies that came in this kit, which is kind of like a balloon dog. And then there's words that say, "Oh joy." And then there's also a heart sunglasses. I kind of messed up on this and I didn't realize it until I had made all of my cards, and then I was watching other people that had made items with these and realized that I messed up on putting this balloon dog together. Off in the corner you can see I even have the instruction sheet and I still didn't do it right. So right here, this is wrong. Don't do this. I took one of the round pieces that's actually supposed to be on the ear and I put it on the leg. So there's supposed to be one pop-up for each leg, a pop-up for the tail, a pop-up for the nose, and then a pop-up for the ear. But on both of these balloon dogs that I created, I did the pop-up on the legs, 2 of the back legs. So that's not right. Don't do that. But it is fairly easy to put together. I did not really worry about the embossing on this, so you can emboss the little circles so that it shows better, and it looks really good, or actually better. You can see it better on the gold foil, but I did not want to use that, so I went ahead and just used 2 pieces of the pattern paper. So I'm matting this piece of a pink striped pattern paper onto a yellow background, which I've already adhered to my card base. And then I'm going to use this little Hooray piece of ephemera, but I'm just using it to use the gold lines as kind of like strings for the balloons. So I'll go ahead and attach that using the double-sided tape. And then I'll go ahead and attach the dog balloons. And there is in the kit a piece of ephemera that is the same as this, and that's what I'm attaching right now. So that's the piece of ephemera that came in the kit. And so I put the 2 that I used with the dies flat, and the ephemera piece I popped up on the card. And then I'm using a piece of the ephemera that says happy, and then I cut out a little piece of the vellum paper that says day. So it just says happy day, and then added a few of the gold sequins that are also included in the kit. And that will complete this card. So for this next card, I'm using only the stamp set, which is, it's a super cute stamp set. I wasn't sure how well the stamps would go down, so I used my We Are Memory Keepers Precision Press. And then I ended up using a stamp block because it actually, the ink transferred to the paper really well. I'm using Catherine Pooler inks, which is something that is new to me. I just started collecting them. They are really, really nice inks. I mentioned in a previous video my favorite pigment ink is the VersaFine Clair. And although these are not pigment inks, these are dye inks, Catherine Pooler, they do have really great full coverage. And they have such a wide range of colors, which is why I'm trying to collect them so that I have lots of colors. Because it is sometimes hard to get a full coverage on stamps that just looks awesome, and the VersaFine Clair are great for that. Like, they are a great full coverage ink, and like I said, they're my favorite pigment ink, just that they don't have a lot of pastel-y colors and they only have a certain number of colors, whereas Catherine Pooler has, gosh, I don't know, there's lots of different colors, so a huge range of colors. So I'm just taking the little, I think they're supposed to be lollipops maybe, and putting those around the card. And then the straw piece, which is the stick on the bottom, that's supposed to be a straw. I went ahead and just put that on the bottom with the green. And so the colors I'm using are meant to be Fiesta something and Pixie Dust. And I will, of course, as always, have all of the additional products that I used below, as well as a link to the actual Spellbinders card kit. And I probably mentioned this in every Spellbinders video I do, but for those that are new to my channel or are new to the Spellbinders items, these kits are usually you've got your 8.5 by 11 paper, your 6 by 6 paper, your dies come in every kit, the ephemera, and then usually like stickers or something extra for the cards. So they're really great kits, great deal for the money, and I just love them. I have been a subscriber for probably about 1.5 years, and the great thing about Spellbinders is there's really no commitment as far as, you know, say you don't like a kit, you can always put it on hold. So the previous 2 kits, I just wasn't feeling it, so I did not end up buying those. And all I did was I told them, you know, you go online, and I said I want to skip this month, and so they don't send you the kit and you don't get charged for it. So that's one of the really great things about the Spellbinders kits, is you're not obligated to buy anything that you don't want to buy. So here I'm just taking the bottle stamp, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp that on the bottom. And I did pull out my VersaFine Clair, the orange and the yellow, because I didn't have those in Catherine Pooler colors to put the lemons and the oranges. And then as you can see, I also put the words hey and then chill. And here I'm doing the ice cubes. And I'll go ahead and mount this to directly to my card base. And that's it for this card. Really simple and easy, but I love all of the colors together, and just a real summery card, it feels like. So here's a really quick card. This is a sticker sheet that came in the kit, and basically all I'm doing is I cut the plastic out with the numbers, kind of to help me with the spacing and the placement. So all I'm doing is taking the number stickers and putting them across the top and the bottom of the card. So really easy. These stickers though are like stuck on that paper really well, and some of them curled up a little bit when I was trying to take them off, and I think I even ripped one of them. I actually wanted to put, there's an ampersand sign, and I was going to put that on the bottom, and I ended up, when I took it off, it ripped, so I didn't end up using that. I think I used, there's like a candle or another one that I ended up using. So I'm just taking the piece of plastic that the stickers came on to do my placement to make it a little bit easier. And then I went ahead and grabbed the balloon ephemera and the happy birthday banner. And I will go ahead and adhere the balloons directly to the card base. And then the banner, I went ahead and put a piece of foam just in the middle of the banner, and then my adhesive on both ends, just so it kind of pops up a little bit in at the middle of the sentiment. And that's it for this card. Super quick and easy. The next card is another super quick and easy card. I just took a piece of the pattern paper and I'll go ahead and adhere that. I'm using my adhesive runner, and the only reason I'm using it is because I'm just being lazy. That's all. I don't feel like taking the double-sided tape and putting it down and then peeling the paper backing off of it. So that's the only reason I'm using the tape runner. So I've just taken a few of the pieces of ephemera that I think go well together, and I'm just going to place those on the card. And that's pretty much it. I think for most of the cards in this kit, I didn't use anything from my stash. No dies from my stash, no extra embellishments. I do use some Nuvo drops on one of the later cards, but I tried to keep it pretty much just items with the kit, barring, of course, ink, because they give you stamps for the kit, but they don't give you any ink. So I had to use my own of that. But other than that, everything that you could possibly need is already in the kit. So and it's a really reasonably priced kit. I think it's $35 plus shipping. So it's great. And they have a lot. Spellbinders has a lot of different kits you can be a part of, clubs you can be a part of. They have a stamp, they have the small die of the month, large die of the month, and then they have some combo packs. So I will leave links below if you are interested in checking that out. So that completes that card. So for this next card, I went ahead and took a piece of the gold, and I did use some dies from my stash for this one. I went ahead and took a piece of the gold paper that's in the kit, and 2 of my rectangle dies, and cut out a frame, and taking the double-sided tape and adhering that to the frame, and then adhering the frame to the card. And then I'm taking more of these sunbursts, and there's also a sunburst sticker. Or it's not a sunburst. I don't know. It looks like a firework almost. And I also want to mention for Spellbinders, if you're new to Spellbinders and you have not subscribed or not purchased their kits before, is that when you first order the kit, that is when the kit will be come out to you every month. So for me, I actually, the first kit I ever ordered was on the 5th of the month, and I had them move it to the 3rd. I tried to get it for the 1st, but the customer service rep did not recommend having it on the 1st, only because if you want to cancel, it doesn't give you any time to cancel. So that's something to think about. But I mean, not cancel, but if you want to skip a kit that month, if you have your kit set to to be paid on the 1st, you're not going to have time really to cancel it. And Spellbinders always has their unboxing video probably like 2 days before the 1st. So like towards the end of the previous month, they'll have the unboxing that shows you what's in the kit. So I have mine on the 3rd, but so if you ordered today, then every month on the 11th, you would have the kit taken out, and then usually within 2 to 3 days after you are billed for it, it's actually mailed out. So I'm taking another one of the butterflies. I've already adhered the sentiment that says happy birthday, and then beneath that sunshine, and then I'm popping up the butterfly, and then I'm taking some of the little gray hearts from the butterfly wings and adhering that to the card, and that completes this card. Okay, so here is a card. I don't know if I like this card or not. I think I should have stopped while I was ahead. This was one of those cards where I overthink it and overdid it a little bit, but I'm using the kind of sunburst pattern paper. It's really pretty. And then I'm also using the die in the kit that it's supposed to be a pair of sunglasses. So you have one heart that is actually two pieces. It gives you two pieces. It gives you the thin outline, and then it also gives you a solid heart in the middle. And then these two like glass, whatever those things are called, the things that stay on your ears. So what you're supposed to do is use them to make, two hearts for the sunglasses. So what I chose to do was just not use the die as a sunglass. So I like it like this, and I should have just added sentiment and been done with it, but I didn't. I had this plan in my head and I went with it, and it didn't turn out that great, but it is what it is. So I have this, and then there's these little kind of like watercolor wash sentiments, and I've gone ahead and cut off as much of the white portion as I could, and then I'm just going to adhere these down to the card, kind of like in the direction of the sunbursts, because I wanted all these words coming out, like, these amazing words coming out, and then the sentiment in the middle, what's it called? I think it says "you are the mostest," is a sentiment that I wanted in the middle, but I didn't want to cover up the sunburst in the middle of the heart. I wanted that to be showing, so I had some difficulty doing that. And to remedy this, I just said, I'll just cut it in half, and then I'll put the sentiment on each side. And I hated it. And so then I try and fix it and glue them back together, and then put a heart over it to kind of hide that, but you can still see where I cut it. So, yeah. So that's the card. I think in my mind it was just great, but I should have left well enough alone. That's one of those things. So for this card, I am using these really pretty pieces of pattern paper. I kind of wanted it to be like a lemonade standish kind of look, I guess, where the stripes are the lemonade canopies. And so I went ahead and adhere these papers together, and then used a die to cut them all out to fit on my card base. And then I will go ahead and adhere that to my card base. And then I'm using a lot of the ephemera for this card. So I'm using the bottle of pink lemonade and the lemons. And I think that's it. This is a card that I use the Morning Dew, the Nuvo Morning Dew on, because it gives it kind of like a water look. So I go ahead and pop some of the fruit up, and some of it remains flat. And then I also did use the die from the set that says "Oh Joy." It's really, really thin, the lettering, and so I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it on this card, but I took a piece of the yellow paper that's in the 6x6 paper pad and placed the sentiment that says "Oh Joy." And you can barely see it on this, so hopefully you can see it in the still shot. And then here I'm taking my Morning Dew Nuvo drops and placing those around the card a little bit. So for the last card, this is kind of like a bonus card for me. I just wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it, and I wasn't actually planning on using the bow vellum, but I'm taking a piece of the 6x6 pattern paper and adhering that to my card base, and then I'm taking the vellum, and as you can see, I just took the double-sided tape and put it straight down both sides of the vellum. And I'm doing that because you can't really see it. It's not noticeable at all. I think mainly because of the busyness of the pattern paper, and then the fact that the vellum has a pattern on it itself. It's not noticeable. It's not like you have a clear piece of vellum that you're going to be able to see that tape through. And then I'm taking these really pretty stickers, these floral stickers, and placing one on each corner. And then I'm going to use for the sentiment one of the pink stickers. And I went ahead and mounted that on a piece of the gold foil paper and used my double-sided tape to adhere that to the card. So this one was super quick, but I think this is actually my favorite. I just really love how it turned out. It's just really soft and pretty to me. And then I'm going to take a few of the gold sequins that come in the kit and adhere those to the card, and that will complete this card. And then I'll also complete the 10 cards that were created for this kit. As always, I have a whole lot of material left over, a lot of 6x6 paper, a lot of ephemera, and of course you always have the dies that could be used later. I don't know for me whether the dies are something that I will keep, so I might be giving them away with the stash that I'm kind of collecting of items that I have duplicate of, that I've been planning to go ahead and do a giveaway with on my channel, but that will be coming up very soon. I hope you liked this video or found it informative. If you did, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you would like to subscribe and you have not already done so, please go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.